our musical guest on the show today, and Matt Carter. We'll have a feature chat with him later in the hour. The holiday season is here. We're going to ease into things slowly on this edition of the show. We're going to give you some style tips for a Christmas tree, as well as some recipes and demonstrations for some holiday drinks. And the holidays, though, are about much more than just entertaining. It is unfortunate that many people right here in this community can't afford even the basics, never mind drinks and a fancy Christmas tree. The Salvation Army's Kettle Campaign is underway, started earlier this month, and they need some help. Dawne Anderson will have a feature interview with Dawne Anderson. Also in the lineup for the next hour, a close friend to us here at Channel 4, Frederick Robinson, is here from FPR Productions, although he's wearing a bicycle jersey because they're getting ready to make a bicycle trip from Vancouver to Seattle. Nanaimo Rides Again. It's all about raising money to find a cure for cancer. Do you feel awkward about that looming conversation that maybe you haven't had yet with your kids about sex? It can be awkward. Well, Carrie Isham is here. She's direct. She says it like it is. She's here to help. She runs Power Up workshops. Finally, Tourism Nanaimo is no longer. It's a new phase for the Harbour City as they bring in the Economic Development Corporation. The new CEO, Susan Cudahy, is here. All that and more coming up on the show. We are live. It's Thursday, November 24th. End of December, Tourism Nanaimo is no longer. Instead, the city has opted to create the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation. It's an independent business arm of the city and is in control of a $1.4 million budget. It's generally seen as a good move for Nanaimo, a positive, proactive step in attracting tourism, tourists, of course, and business as well. Susan Cudahy was introduced to Nanaimo earlier this month. She is the first CEO of the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation. Susan, what was that process like? Did you woo the city? Did the city woo you? How did that go?
It was a really interesting situation, actually, because it was a public call. It was handled by an outside firm. So there was, I believe, over 200 people that applied for the position. And they did break it down to a select group. And then we went through a really interesting process of doing presentations on how we felt we'd be able to take Nanaimo to the next step. And then ultimately, I was very honored to be offered the role.
And what is that role? What have you been hired to actually do?
The core goals of the corporation are basically fourfold. Number one is to actually put us on the radar screen around the world, globally.
We're not now.
No, we are not now. In terms of investment attraction, bringing new businesses into the area, new jobs. Right. Secondarily, it's business retention and expansion. It's honoring and respecting the businesses that are already here in Nanaimo and some of the young businesses that have great potential and taking them to the next level. Third would be the tourism side of the operations, which is being merged in, and the attraction of tourists to the destination for a longer time than they may have stayed, and to make sure that they're not just going through us, but staying with us for part of their holiday. And fourth is to balance the tax assessment within the city so that there's a really strong balance between commercial tax, industrial tax, and residential tax, so that the programs that are required, affordable housing, youth programs, things that the city needs from a social side, can be funded on more than just the backs of the taxpayers and the homeowners.
It sounds like an enormous job.
It has a lot of aspects to it, but it has a load of potential to actually see things in a much more positive light in a very short period of time.
So the fact that it is a corporation and is an arm's length away from the city, what does that allow you and your team to do that you couldn't do under the other umbrellas of Tourism Nanaimo or Destination Nanaimo that were there before?
Well, when those operations stay within City Hall, the processes and the practices have to move at the speed of politics. And they have...
We all know that can be pretty slow.
Exactly. And this way, the model is run solely by a board of directors that are business oriented. Okay. There are no politicians that are on the board or on the tourism committee. And so therefore we can move at the speed of business instead of the speed of politics.
But you're still answering to the city, right?
We are still reporting back to our major stakeholder and shareholder, which is the city. But the city has very much defined the role of strategy and governance of that 1.4 million into the hands of the people that they feel will do the best job, which is business owners, attracting business owners, speaking in business language to people who are all making payroll. So it's a big leap of faith for a community to be able to do this, and it says a lot for the respect of the politicians for what they have here already from a business standpoint.
Before you came here, what was your impression of Nanaimo? What do outsiders think of us? What haven't we done to market ourselves positively?
You know, I think the most interesting part wasn't necessarily what I felt about Nanaimo, because my opinion of Nanaimo was much higher than what I found the opinion of the people who are actually here is.
I read, that's surprising. Yes.
It's interesting from an economic development standpoint when you look at what assets do you really want when you're trying to sell an area, because that's what we are. We're salespeople, we have a product, the product is Nanaimo.
Right.
When we look at the value proposition of a strong downtown core, an airport, a dock, the cruise dock, a strong university, all those aspects that are absolutely critical, including a healthy unemployment rate. We need to have available manpower to attract investment. All of those things come together to make us an incredible destination of choice. One of the things that I found actually is that there is a bit of an inferiority complex within the community where we don't necessarily see ourselves in quite the same light as people from the outside see us. So part of what I'm hoping to do is sort of allow us take that next step into assuming the position that we so rightly deserve, which is to be on the global scale of attraction, have people know more about us.
A couple questions coming. How do you measure that? How do we know when it's working?
There's approximately 20 to 25 key indicators that are used in economic development, and they can range from everything from marketing and media in terms of the number of hits, the number of inquiries, to very quantitative tax assessment measures, new businesses opening, et cetera. And then some of the softer side as well, lowering of crime rates, available office space, things like that, that also come into play. So it's a myriad of indicators that actually report on the health of a community as opposed to the actual success. Because the Economic Development Corporation itself will never create a job unless we hire someone locally.
One job, one or two.
Exactly. Yeah. Our role is to create the environment that makes other people want to and be able to, with ease, create jobs.
And this doesn't mean that tourism in Nanaimo was unsuccessful. It's not an indication of failure for something. It's just changing times, or?
It's a transition that's happening around the world. Really, 25 years of great tourism efforts have already taken place here. Now it's time to transition it to the next phase, and sometimes the best way of being able to do that is infusing the economic development side and the tourism sides together, so that what is required from an infrastructure standpoint, whether there's gaps, whether we need more events, whether we need more attractions, those things can be taken care of by the economic development side, and very often funded at a higher level by the province and the feds than they would be if it was solely at the municipal level.
We're out of time already. That was 8 minutes. It went like that, as it always does. Any final words? Anything? I am surprised to learn that it's an internal perception, perhaps, that is one of our biggest challenges. Any advice to someone who maybe doesn't think they live in the best place in the world?
You know, I think from an outsider's viewpoint, the way I look at it is Nanaimo is like a 13-year-old child. It is on the precipice of everything it's going to be in the next little while, and it can go either way. It's up to us at this point, but it's got a great grounding, and I think it's got phenomenal future ahead of it.
Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So there will no doubt be lots of visitors coming into Nanaimo over the holiday season, and which is already here upon us, and many of us are getting ready to impress them with our holiday decorating. The cornerstone of that is the Christmas tree, and like things progressing, moving forward, becoming more modern, that's applicable to the Christmas tree as well. Tara Keeping is here for some tips on styling your tree.
And I'm with Penny Richards here in the studio here. She's from Flying Fish, a beautiful, beautiful store downtown Nanaimo. I think we all know the Flying Fish. And she's going to teach us, or teach me, how to decorate a tree in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. Is that right, Penny?
That's right.
So how are you gonna show me how to do the flower first, or?
Well, first we're going to talk about the tree itself.
Okay.
One of the ways that we can do this in 10 minutes or less is to start with a tree that's different, that's unique. This is a black Christmas tree. We don't often see them. It's lit with white lights. So what we're going to do is try and create a contrast. We're going to decorate in white and silver.
Okay.
So you've got a beautiful white peony.
And
That's
like,
right.
just stick it right in.
Just stick it in. It's as easy as that.
Because what you really want to stress is that it's not going to be stressful. Because a lot of people think, oh my goodness, we got to do this. We got to cook the turkey dinner and buy presents and wrap presents. But what it is with the Christmas tree is that it's not stressful. Just 10 minutes. You just stick everything in.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're doing lots of glam, lots of silver, lots of glitter.
Yeah, this is nice.
So it's absolutely beautiful and showy.
And I feel so underdressed because I usually don't look so casual, but you know what? This is how I'd be decorating the Christmas tree at home, just casual. So
That's
this is
right.
good. So we're going to put some silver.
Here
Good.
we have some beautiful silver orchids and silver leafing. And what I generally do is just bend them down a little bit so
okay.
that they tend to cascade down
Okay.
and fill up a large space. Going with decorations that are larger like this, you don't need to buy as many.
Now, are these decorations, are they expensive, or the price range? How is that price range?
These range anywhere between $5 and $15 a pick.
Okay. And how many do you think you need for like a size Christmas tree of this size?
I would do about a dozen of each. We're going to keep it very simple. We're going to use 3 basic ornaments. We're going to use the orchids, the peonies, and these beautiful
nice.
hammered silver stars. These stars come on a silver rope, so they're easy to put on. You just hold them up,
Okay.
bend up the end of the branch, and
you're right, it doesn't take that much time to do this. So this is actually for the busy
this is
person.
for the urban dwellers, the
Yes.
people that are working and entertaining and.
Not a children Christmas tree, right?
Well, we can make it a children's
okay.
Christmas tree.
Good, we'll put another one on, good. And you have all these decorations available now at the Flying Fish.
All of these are available now, and a lot more.
Okay.
You don't have to stick to sort of this monochromatic theme. We have everything from purples and blues and pinks.
Nice.
We have glitter trees and purple trees and white flock trees, lots of birds, lots of traditional Santa ornaments. And
Nice. But what I'm noticing with this theme that I like is that the flowers and the silver, you can use them again. You can, as you mentioned on the break there, that you can use it in napkin holders.
that's right. You can take a napkin and a beautiful napkin ring and slip them over and put it beside the plate or over the plate.
Okay.
It just kicks up your Christmas table.
And you don't really have to use it for Christmas time either, because these are not Christmas.
They're timeless.
Yes.
That's
yes.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're classic too, which is nice too.
You can work these into your mantle display at Christmas
nice.
time.
So do you have any other tips for decorating a Christmas tree?
Have fun.
Have fun, exactly, yes.
It doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to take a lot of time.
No.
But it can be beautiful. It can be glamorous. This tree is, as you can tell, is very glamorous and lovely.
Good. No, this is really nice. And like you said, 10 minutes, and it's only been like not even 6 minutes. So this is good, or 5 minutes. Good, we'll put one more on. And let's put this down here.
At the store, we tend to put a lot on the tree to make it very full and very lush and very rich looking.
Good. And now we're going to go back to Dunya, because it's kettle time, and she's here with the Salvation Army.
Thanks, Tara. Well, my favorite time of the year is the holidays, and my favorite thing to do during the holidays is decorating the tree. But my second favorite thing is actually seeing people, you know, those people with their little bells dedicated volunteers who are part of the Kettle Campaign, who are raising money for those in need. So they're part of the Kettle Campaign, and here we have one of those dedicated people with us today, Dawne Anderson, who's been doing it for years and years and years, and she's going to talk to us about this very, very important campaign. Welcome, Dawne.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here. So I heard that you are a 5th generation Salvation Army.
Yes, I am on my mom's side. Yes, 5 generations.
So you've been doing it for so many years. What's the passion? Where does it come from?
It comes from within. It comes from the fact of being able to know that when we're helping and raising money, that it helps those who are less fortunate.
Wow. And I know there's a lot of background about the Salvation Army. Can you just give us a little bit about how did it all start? When did it all start?
Back in the 1800s, there was a gentleman named Captain McPhee, and he wanted to do a meal for 1,000 people, had no money to do it. And so he thought, you know what, how am I going to raise the money to do this? And he saw a kettle by where the ships were, and it was a metal one, and he thought, you know what, I could do that. I could have a kettle for people to put money in, and he raised it and was able to feed the 1,000 people that he wanted to feed. So it's pretty good. It's an awesome start to the Salvation Army of giving from back through the founder, William Booth.
Wow, and you've been doing it for so many years. That's such an important campaign. What do you use the money for? What do you need the money for?
In the Salvation Army in Nanaimo, for instance, we have our meal program downtown that serves lunch and supper. We have our emergency shelter. We have family services that help give out emergency hampers, clothing, whatever the need is. And so it's certainly the money that we raise goes towards all the work that we do downtown.
Wow. And I know that you have a goal this year. How much money are you hoping to raise?
The Kettle Campaign goal is $400,000. And so it's a big goal, but we know the community is phenomenal in the support that they give us. And so in our kettles alone, we hope to raise $200,000, and our letter campaign another $200,000. So it's a big goal, but we know we can do it.
And you have 24 locations this year, so there are, I hear, about 96 different volunteer shifts to fill.
Per day.
Per day? Oh my God!
So that goes from Ladysmith through to North Nanaimo. So wherever you go, you will probably see a kettle.
Wow. So, but I hear that you need volunteers. You haven't filled all these positions yet.
Oh, definitely not filled them all yet. For instance, on Saturday, we have over 50 volunteer positions still needed to be filled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'd better sign up. So you need to, people who are interested, of course, they can contact you about that for sure. You're needing to fill them out as soon as possible because, I mean, we're way into, we started the campaign, last week or so?
We started on Monday.
On Monday,
So
okay.
we're certainly on the 21st, so we started the kettles, and it's a day-to-day. It's always a day-to-day trying to fill all the shifts, but it gets done.
But for those who can't volunteer, I know that you have an Adopt a Kettle option. What is that?
The Adopt a Kettle is part of business. A lot of businesses will do it. We have service clubs, and it costs $250, and it's a kettle top that goes on the top of the kettle, and it goes from one end of Nanaimo. Every week we change the kettle top location so that their business gets promoted throughout the community.
Wow, and you have so many various locations we're going to be at. London Drugs, Canadian Tire.
Thrifties, Save on Foods, Walmart, Toys R Us. So we have inside and outside locations.
That's good.
The insides go pretty fast because everybody wants to stay warm.
That's good. You have both options covered. We don't have much more time left. But for those who are in need of hamper registration, you were telling me that it's going to happen next week, right?
Yes, November 28th to the 2nd at 867 Bruce Avenue, which is on the corner of 8th and Bruce behind the Co-op gas station from 10 till 4. So all those who are needing a hamper this year, please come by and register.
Well, thank you so much, Dawne, for being here. What you guys do is amazing, and it makes Christmas special for sure. For those who are interested in volunteering, they need so many volunteers, as Dawne said. You can call Dawne at 250-740-1004. Well, and now we're going to Matt, who's interviewing our artist for today, Myc Sharratt.
And thank you very much, Dawne. All right, and also, yeah, big ups to the Salvation Army, and never pass a kettle, and don't drop any coins, and always going to make sure to support there. Well, I was hoping to do the sexual health interview, but Kate said I was underqualified, so instead I'm here talking with Mr. Myc Sharratt from right here in Nanaimo. Great singer, songwriter, guitarist. Myc, welcome to the show.
Thanks. We can still talk about sexual health, I think.
Okay, yeah. Perhaps after the show, indeed.
Yeah, I might not be as knowledgeable, though.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, so, guitarist, what's up with you these days?
Just did a live record, which you are on, and some other fine folks from Kings Without, and just kind of playing shows, promoting that.
Well, tell us a little bit about your music. So obviously you're a guitarist. Talk about some of your influences and what kind of sound can people expect to hear from a Myc Sharratt show or on this aforementioned Myc Sharratt record?
Well, it's original music. I think it's kind of acoustic rock would be the genre, I guess. But Dave Matthews, John Mayer. But I mean, I was raised on blues music, so I like to noodle a little bit, Clapton style.
Eric Clapton. Clapton is God, as it were.
Wow. Yeah.
As the graffiti said.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so you talk about growing up in blues music. Talk a little bit about, again, your musical upbringing. Listen to blues music growing up. You went to NDSS, is this correct?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a local lad, and yeah, I just go downstairs, steal my dad's tapes and records, and plug them in. And usually it was Hendrix and Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and so I should be a lot better guitar player based on my influence. But then I discovered Dave Matthews, and I thought it was kind of cool to write a pop tune. So it's a constant battle between it's like a nerd's box, you know. It's like the pop side and then the blues side, and trying to break the wall and then just shake them all up and see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's a very cool mix there. And I know you had talked to me about before the show about a time where you did for a while go into the VIU jazz program. And of course, I'm a big proponent of the jazz program there, but obviously it's not for everybody. And so you had a bit of a moment of enlightenment in the program there.
Well, basically, I had a moment where I went to the washroom and I came back and I was playing with some folks. And I went to see some good friends of mine now. They were in a band called Flannel Jimmy, and they were doing an acoustic duo thing, and I went to see them at the college while I was attending college. And I came back, and my friend had asked him if I could play a tune with them, and I ended up writing songs. And I mean, I was skipping classes to go home and write songs, and I just thought the trade-off wasn't worth the money at that point. But I mean, all my band members have gone through the program. It's a great program. I can't slam it at all. So
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, with the pop songs you're doing, obviously some great success. You were the winner of Vancouver Island Best Male Vocalist at the Vancouver Island Music Awards, and I believe nominated for Songwriter of the Year. Was this?
Yeah, it was Songwriter this year. Yeah.
This year, and it's taken you all across Canada, all across the United States. Talk really quickly about your travels throughout the United States, playing some of the shows down there.
Yeah, that was really cool. I went with just my buddy, and we toured across the states in a Versa and played some of the really cool venues, and then stayed in some of the uncoolest hotel rooms. And yeah, I mean, we got to see where I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan. It's pretty obvious. Huge John Mayer fan, and I saw both the venues that they got their start in. So I mean, it's not much different than playing Corner Lounge, which I mean, we're doing it tonight. And you know, Corner Lounge in Nanaimo it's a little bit bigger than Miller's in Charlottesville, where Dave Matthews Band got started, and they used to play in this little showcase window and stuff. So I mean, it was really interesting to watch, because one night we were at Miller's, and then the next night we were watching the band play in front of 18,000 people at just this huge amphitheater, you know. And it was amazing how obvious it was. It's just so immediate how it was. Like, you can go from this to this. All you have to do is put in the time and, well, be good, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love touring, and it was a nice ground test to see if it was in my blood, and it definitely is. You know, I want to go overseas and do some shows there, because my favorite records of the last 5 years have been out of there. You know, like David Gray, Lisa Hannigan, Mumford and Sons, Damien Rice. Just all the records are coming out of one small area, so I think that's my next little venture.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's the venture for the future in the immediate future. Tonight at the Corner Lounge, Thursday evening. Also have a show coming up on December 23rd, and also a great fundraiser on this Sunday at the Jingle Pot Pub.
Yeah, this Sunday we're doing a fundraiser for my buddy Steve Pohl, who is battling cancer right now, and you know, he beat it once, so he's going to beat it again, and we just have to get our shots in while we can at this whole cancer thing. So.
All right, well, let's hear the fruits
Fight
of your
the
labor.
beast.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hear the fruits of your labor. Song Power Lines off your recent album, MycSharratt.com. Is that the website?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Power Lines. Mr. Myc Sharratt here on the show, Shaw TV, Channel 4.
Thank you.
Or a street light on a rooftop through a telephone line. Doesn't matter where I scream. Oh, it's crazy, it's all come down to the wire. Living in the shadow of this dream. Well, I get lost sometimes in between the power lines. With every step I take, I lose a part of me. Well, I might be losing my mind here, but I'll never lose a thought of you. I won't hesitate to knock you out of my way when nothing's gonna make me feel safe. I've got my eyes closed, my back is up against the wall until there's nothing left at all. In a parked car with old love on the radio dial, doesn't matter where I scream. Oh, 'cause I cannot hide from the rain that falls, living in the shadow of this dream. Well, I won't hesitate to knock you out of my way when nothing's gonna make me feel safe. I've got my eyes closed, my back is up against the wall until there's nothing left.
Hi, I'm Rob O's.
And I'm Andrew McLean, and we're O's and McLean at Royal LePage.
We invite you to watch O's and McLean's Two Men and Their Fishing Rods.
Only on Shaw TV.
Another lost lake.
Just waiting to be discovered.
But most importantly, fished.
O's and McLean's Two Men and Their Fishing Rods on Shaw TV, Channel 4.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Hi, I'm Al Dakota from Terminals Quality Assured Collision Services, inviting you to watch Terminals Quality Assured Collision Service Arts Now.
With music, theater, and entertainment in your community. From local bands and actors on stage to the talented work of artists in the Mid-Island area. Know what's happening when and where so you won't miss a thing. Terminal Quality Assured Collision Arts Now, only on Shaw TV.
And now, back to the show, only on Shaw TV.
That is Matt Carter and Myc Sharratt, a little impromptu jam session there. Matt Carter, Myc Sharratt, and they are playing tonight, but the show repeats. So if you happen to be watching the live broadcast on November the 24th, they're at the Corner Lounge tonight, and it would be my guess that they play there on a regular basis. So check them out and go support them in person and get some more of what we teased you with in that little musical interlude. In 2009, the inaugural Ride to Conquer Cancer saw thousands of people getting on a bicycle and riding from Vancouver to Seattle to raise money for the BC Cancer Foundation. Frederick Robinson and Luc Bayang are part of a team here in Nanaimo. They're called Nanaimo Rides Again, and there's a bit of a history to that we'll get into. This is the team's third year riding, and they're getting organized more so than they have ever been before. And they're hitting the road to raise some really big money. Already they've raised $80,000, and they're looking to do even more than that with the ride coming up in 2012.
Yes.
Now we're talking about a ride that goes in June of 2012. And it's November of 2011. Frederick, give a bit of why you're starting so early, how the team's evolved in 3 short years.
Well, at the beginning, I mean, it was just a bunch of individuals who met at an orientation. And through that, Luke, Ian, and a couple of others, when we were there. Yes, we are. Ian Brown, yes. And it was decided that, well, maybe we should try and create a team, and it would be easier to train and to fundraise if we did that.
Yeah, get some support.
Exactly. Yeah. So it started that way, and it's just sort of grown from there. If looking back at it, I wouldn't have thought we would be where we are now.
Which is
because that's not how it started.
23 members.
We're now at 23 members. For the last 2 years, we've had 11 members, then we had 12 last year. This year, we're not even at the end of 2011, and we're at 23 members.
Okay.
And there's probably a couple more that'll probably join. So
we've got 5 minutes allocated for this interview, and I think we've already talked before getting onto the set here for 5. Quickly, what was your experience been, Luke? You're gearing up to your third ride. You've done 2 already.
Yep.
Fun? Hard?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a great event. There's a few thousand riders with the same passion, going for the same goal. And it's not a race, it's a ride. So you can talk to each other, you don't have to go at full pace. And the energy, you spend 2 days riding, you ride for over 200 kilometers, maybe about 240. And at the end of the second day, you feel like going for a third day. It's just amazing the people you meet.
And it's all for a good cause. That
Exactly.
sounds so cliche these days, but it's a cause. Your mom died of cancer, Frederick?
She did in 2006. And that was quite that was a big reality check because she hadn't really been sick in her day in her life. So to all of a sudden get that, it just didn't make any sense. Right. And so to actually be a part of this, I mean, it's definitely for a good cause. And you know, you have to do something. Cancer's got to be stopped. Right. I mean, it really is. I can get heated about it because it is ridiculous. The number of people.
Which I of course want you to do. But we've only got probably 3 minutes left.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So to know that we are doing something, and you know, we're actively involved in trying to get rid of this horrible disease, I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Gonna bring Luke. You've had your dad.
My dad passed away from cancer in 1986. My mother's a cancer survivor.
Right.
She contracted cancer. She was 27 years old. She went for surgery 14 times, and she'll be 85 years old in June.
Now, it's not easy getting out there raising money, and I know you guys have some plans to move sort of from individual, smaller fundraisers into corporate sponsors and fundraising that way. I'm getting the 1-minute cue. But you have faith that there is a cure and a way to stop this. And you guys go down and you check it out, and you know the science behind it, and it's not just this unstoppable. I mean, millions and billions of dollars have been raised, and we still deal with cancer deaths every day.
Well, we visited the research facility in Victoria, and what we saw is really encouraging.
Right.
So
it's not just treated with chemicals. They're doing.
Well, some of the researchers are getting away from chemotherapy and that kind of treatment, and more into your own body fighting cancer.
Right.
So it's a very complex process, but
yeah, I'm getting the wrap sign.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, every single person is different. Your immune system, etc. So for them to be looking at it on an individual basis as opposed to a general basis, I think this might be the way that we can get rid of it.
Thank you for being here today and for doing the work that you're doing. Nanaimo Rides Again.com is a website. You can pledge a lot of money there. You can come on board as a corporation. Their shirts right now, their jerseys have a lot of empty white spots on them. Well, when we bring them back in a couple of months, hopefully they'll be plastered with corporate logos showing their support for Nanaimo Rides Again. We're going to throw things over now to Tara Keeping for some holiday cheer of the liquid variety.
Thanks, Kate. Here with me is Adam Kennedy. He's a bartender at the Minnoz Bar and Restaurant. You actually changed the name.
Minnoz Steak and Seafood.
Okay, and that's located at the Coast Bastion. When did you guys change the name?
2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Just incorporate the steak and seafood now, right?
Changed the menu and freshened things up, and now we're focusing on the steak and seafood side.
Good. And so you're here, as Kate said, to show me how to make some holiday cheer. So we've got 2 drinks, a non-alcoholic one and an alcoholic one.
Yeah.
So should we start with the non-alcoholic one?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Super simple to make. Got some apple cider, cranberry juice. Already chilled the apple cider. Rocks glass.
Oh, just one sec, because you have to actually brew that first, right?
Yes.
Because people might not know
Brew that works best with hot water, and got a kettle over there. You just pour it in with the container, and you're all set to go. So for this one, just pretty much half and half. Gonna use some cranberry juice.
And this is called the Red Nose, right?
We call this a Red Nose, yes, kind of to play along with the Operation Red Nose for those who aren't drinking this holiday season, being the designated driver. So they can still kind of participate, have something that looks, kind of tastes like a cocktail. And we garnish with cinnamon stick, stir it up.
Oh, nice.
And good to go.
Now, is this a drink that you created?
Came up with this one, yes.
Okay, and so this is a Minnoz special drink then?
Yes.
Okay, and like you said, it's not on the menu, but if someone orders it, it's there.
Come on in and ask for it, and we'll make it up for you.
Perfect, good. So now on to the good stuff. And these are for the kiddies, because kiddies can drink it too, and this is more like a mummy's drink?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, cold outside, need something to warm you up. Nice hot chocolate and Baileys. This is one called the Polar Bear hot chocolate.
Okay.
It's a variation of a shooter that is traditionally had during the holidays. We've got some peppermint schnapps here, some Baileys, and hot chocolate mix. We'll put some
hot water.
You can pour if you want.
Okay, so I can do something then.
Yeah.
I think the last time, tell me when to stop.
Just could fill it about halfway
okay.
or so. That's good right there.
You were teaching me how to make dirty martinis on TV.
Yes. Yeah, in the lounge there.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And you also taught Bruce Williams how to pour beer too.
I have the first day of work at Minnoz there. I taught Bruce how to pour draft beer.
How was he?
He did great, actually.
Lots of practice, right?
Yeah. So we got the hot chocolate all made up there.
Okay.
And
get that out of your way.
I'm gonna put half an ounce of peppermint schnapps in.
Nice.
And the thing about making these at home is you don't really need to use a shot glass. It's more of an ish kind of science. Put as much or as little in as you'd like.
So you can be generous if you'd like. If you like a little more. Oh, you mix it together.
Yep.
Oh, I would do it separately.
Half and half.
Good.
It's best
to do it. Yes.
when we're at work.
Ooh, that smells
measure
nice.
1 full ounce.
Okay.
So then we'll stir this up.
Okay.
And if you reach behind you there, there's the whipped cream in
Oh,
that
yes.
refrigerator. And I'll let you whip it as well.
Okay. So just kind of make it pretty, right?
Just swirl it around, make it pretty. You can put as much or as little in.
You gotta
shake it up.
Shake it, folks. Oh gosh.
Apparently, it's gonna make a mess. Apparently that whipped cream's not working.
Should I shake it again? Let's just try it one more time. We have time.
I have a bad feeling.
Oh, so do I. Okay, so normally it would work and we would have.
Look really nice and not explode all over the place.
Put a little cherry on it or no?
Yeah, usually chocolate shavings on top would go really nice.
Okay, I'm not too sure what happened there, but that's okay. Good. So also you're a photographer too. Let's talk about you. You do some photography work.
Yeah, I bartend on weekends. I do photography during the week. I've been doing that for about 10 years now, both for 10 years. And bartending keeps me out of trouble on the weekends.
You're an event planner's dream. You can make drinks and then take pictures as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've also won a lot of awards with bartending. Tell us about that.
Yes, I've won the Nanaimo bartending competition 2 years for the Bathtub Society that's put on every year during the bathtub races. Basically, they give you an ingredient and you build a drink around it that tastes good, looks good, easy to make. And the bars will feature that in town during the bathtub festivities. And also the Sterling Hospitality Awards.
Oh, wow.
Won, top 3 bartenders in BC in 2008.
So you know what you're doing, and you can make a mean drink.
I can make a mean drink.
So you need to go down to Minnoz. And also, do you just like, if a client comes in and just wants any kind of drink, will you be able to make it, or? Perfect.
Ask me, I can make it. Pretty much.
Nice,
Anything
nice, nice. Now, is there any other drinks for the holiday season that we can tell viewers at home if they want to make?
Traditional eggnog.
Right.
Yeah, of course. We
can you funk it up a bit, or?
Yeah, we use. I've come up with an eggnog martini that. Yeah, it's creamy and uses the eggnog there. What we use is an ounce of vanilla vodka.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And ½ ounce of amaretto. Put that in the shaker, and with some ice, add about 1.5 ounces or so of eggnog. Shake it up, pour it in a chilled martini glass, and it's good to go. Sprinkle with a little bit of nutmeg on top. And so we do it.
So when can we start ordering the holiday cheer?
Anytime.
Anytime. So even now, we don't have to wait till December or near Christmas or whatever. We're at Minnoz. We can just order a holiday cheer drink.
Yeah,
good,
absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
Yay. And now, is there anything else with drinks? I want to pick your brain on. So how do you come up with making these things? Like, do you Google things, or do you just have it just, ooh, this sounds good, mixing this and this?
Drinking them.
Yes. Oh, that
Trial
sounds like fun.
and error. Yeah, make it up if it doesn't taste great, put it aside, add something or whichever, and spend some really interesting nights.
So at home, I guess you can just do it at home and invite your friends. My goodness, you need to have a bartender as a friend.
And put them all together. We just mix it up. Whatever happens, happens, and yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's always nice talking to you, and you teach me how to make drinks. My goodness, I feel like I can be a good bartender one time.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. I remember.
Yes, yes, martinis next time. I think I like to make those better. I like the glasses, the shaking and everything.
Oh, and don't have to worry about the whipped cream.
No, I know. I don't know what happened to that. So we're gonna, from booze to the birds and the bees, only on Shaw TV. So we're gonna give that to Kate over there.
Well, thanks, Tara. There is a lot of variety on today's show, if nothing else. I'm actually very much looking forward to our next interview with Carrie Isham. It's not easy to talk to your kids about sex. Heck, it's not even that easy for grown-ups to talk to other grown-ups about sex most of the time. But as a grown-up, it is important to be confident and informed if you're going to have that awkward conversation with your own kids. Now, Carrie Isham is knowledgeable, experienced. She's passionate. She's a coach, a facilitator, and a speaker. She's completed her sexual health education certification program through Options for Sexual Health in Vancouver. She's a graduate of the Ottawa University, where she has a Bachelor of Physical Education and a Bachelor of Education. She's also taught in School District 69 for 13 years, 9 of those as a sexual health educator. She now runs Power Up workshops, educating ourselves, educating kids. Carrie, why sexual education? Why are you so passionate about that?
Well, I think like most children, I had a natural curiosity about my body, particularly as it changed through the puberty years. My mom was progressive compared to some of my friends. She gave me 3 books, which I still have those 3 books today. And I think as a young person, knowing information about what's going to be coming up for you gives you more groundedness and an excitement about the changes rather than fear or anxiety.
One of the things, talking to you many times that I have and on the phone leading up to today, I'm a parent of some young kids, and not knowing what they should know or not know, or what is okay, and is it okay for daddy to have a bath? Can I kiss you on the lips? For how long? You know, when does it get weird? And there's certain levels. There are actual developmental or educational milestones. So we can start with preschool. What should a preschool child know about sex?
I think a lot of times parents are very concerned when we make recommendations for preschoolers. Preschoolers really need to know their private body parts, and it's about increasing abuse resistance in children. So if they know that they have a penis or a vulva, as opposed to a hoo-hoo or a wee-wee, they're less attractive to inappropriate adults, because they know and assume that that child's having conversation at home with their parents, and they're more likely to report it.
Okay. Knowledge shows support. Absolutely. Moving then from preschool, kindergarten to grade 3, maybe the same?
Yeah, similar. We look at safe, unsafe, and secret touch, again, as an abuse prevention tool, where kids learn about safe touch being healthy, and unsafe touch, sort of kicking, hitting, and things like that. And we talk about secret touch, so anything that an adult or a teenager or even someone their own age has asked them to keep it a secret, we want to teach them very young that they need to report that.
Because there's no reason why a preschooler or kindergarten grade 1 and 2 should be asked to keep a secret, unless it's like what's under the Christmas tree or something like that. Okay, we're going to keep moving along. Grades 4 to 7.
Well, grade 4 to 7 is mainly about puberty education. So what are the physical, emotional, and social changes that are going to happen in your body, so that kids are really prepared ahead of time so that they can look at it and be really excited about the changes rather than ashamed and embarrassed.
Next, high school, we're talking now, sort of grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this is where, without the foundation of conversations, you could really run into problems being early pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases. This is where a lot of the work comes to be, but there's still more work to be done.
Yeah. In high school, there's a lot of focus on sexually transmitted infections, contraception. What I clearly understand from high school students is they want more about making healthy decisions for themselves, condom negotiation, healthy and unhealthy relationships, what to do if they're in an abusive situation, and to be able to recognize the abuse cycle.
You know, a lot of the work that we do as parents, we want to send our kids out to the world to be happy, productive, healthy citizens, and a part of that is in relationships. Absolutely. And so this is a sexual education is a foundation for a healthy relationship. Absolutely. Because sex is part of relationships.
Yeah. Well, sexuality is about the total person.
Right.
So it's about the clothes that you wear, how you interact with other people, sexual orientation, your values and belief systems, and that begins from birth. So we set the foundation for communication. All of my classes are co-ed, and they suggest to do that, so that when young people are older and they're picking a lifetime partner or someone that they want to spend a lot of time with, they're able to communicate their sexual needs and desires with the person without feeling embarrassed or ashamed.
And it's a tough job. I know one of your passions is media, and the influence and the barrage of media that young girls are subjected to. There was a company targeting 7-year-olds for push-up bras. What does a 7-year-old need a push-up bra for?
Yeah,
and that's what we're up against.
Yeah, there's a ton of crazy things happening in the media, and the young girls and boys look at music videos as sort of a mentoring type of situation.
Right.
And what I've developed are t-shirts for girls to combat the negative media messages.
Okay, and I'm going to hold one up now. I didn't warn the director that we were going to do this, but I will hold it up for quite some time. Carrie, maybe you could read some of the words on this shirt.
So how these shirts came about 2 years ago, I met with a group of girls, and I've interviewed parents, and I've done mother-daughter workshops, and these are the words that all of the mothers that I talked to over and over again said, when my daughter's a grown woman, these are the qualities that I would like them to have. So we promote this in very young girls to combat the negative media messages around body image and self-esteem.
And this is a bit to counter, you see on the butts of jogging pants, delicious or juicy, and it can be offensive, really, but it's innocently incorporated into the self-identity of young girls.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part is girls and young men, they don't know what the words are associated with. So when we're talking about juicy girl, they don't see the sexual connotation. So you can see 8 and 9-year-old girls wearing really inappropriate tops, and they have no idea. Those tops are sort of a ticket item or an entryway in for someone who's inappropriate.
Getting back to the preschool, it's all about, it moves from prevention and safety to knowledge into more of a biological awareness, answering questions, into a healthy relationship, whether that involves sex or not. And there is a big myth that giving kids information, and I'm calling it a myth, some people would argue with me, giving kids information about sex is going to encourage them to become active.
Well, all of the literature is contrary to that. So this is a fear of many parents, that the more information we give them, that the more at risk they are. In actual fact, it's the opposite. The more information young people have about sex and relationships, etc., they're more likely to delay sexual activity.
I stopped at adulthood, and it goes, I've worked with you on seniors projects before, and again, this foundation that can start as young as, what is this, Mom? And they point at their penis, moving up to, I'm 70 years old and my partner's died, yet I'm not ready to stop being intimate. It's a lifelong journey.
Well, we're sexual beings from birth until death.
She says with a big grin on her face. Can you talk too much about it? I mean, if it becomes a focal point in a family and discussion, what's enough? What's too much? How do you know?
Well, I encourage parents to talk about it anytime at the dinner table. So, Mom, Dad, what's a wet dream? Please pass the broccoli. And I teach kids that because if we can make it a part of everyday living, then we don't have kids that are hiding under their desks or having their hoods up during my sexual health classes. And parents are the #1 sexual health educator in their child's life, and I'm the person that may pass on information or give out a book list or meet with parents ahead of time, but it's the parents that the children want to go to.
Right.
They enjoy having me in, but it's the parents are there day to day, and they need to have the information so that they can pass it on to their kids.
And then getting back to Power Up workshops, educating ourselves, educating kids, because we can't begin, as we started this interview and we're wrapping up now, we can't begin these conversations until we ourselves are confident, and the generation previous to our own probably didn't talk about it very much, you know?
Yeah, I think that the best thing that we can do for our kids is to get comfortable with our own nudity, our own sexuality, so that we don't put our embarrassment and shame sometimes from our own childhood on our own kids.
And of course, you're not talking anything radical. We're not. It's not. It's common sense. It's science. It's nature.
Absolutely.
Okay, Carrie, thank you so much. It went very quickly. PowerUpWorkshops.com. Carrie offers a variety of workshops aimed for parents of teenagers, of preschoolers, for all varieties, even seniors. If you're a senior and want some information on how to maintain a healthy and satisfying sexual life as part of your life. And this is just so fun talking to Carrie about this stuff, and I'm surprised it kind of didn't get a little more colorful as it did, but there'll be time for that in future shows. We're going to throw things over back now to Tara Keeping as we have a final look at our very stylish Christmas tree.
And we're back with Penny from the Flying Fish, and you're right, it took us, what, 5 minutes to decorate the tree?
That's right.
So yes, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to add some color, and as you said, to funk it up, some funkiness, right?
We're going to take this very glamorous tree and make it a little more fun.
Sure.
So we'll start, again, we're using picks because they're so easy and so simple, and it's a two-tone purple.
Okay.
And we do exactly the same thing. We just slip them in.
I love just this whole sticking it in the tree. I really like that technique.
It's easy to put up, it's easy to take down.
Yes. I'm just going to grab another one. There you go. And again, with the colors and with how the style, you don't have to just use it for Christmas because it's very classic, and you can use it for any kind of celebration.
Any sort of party.
Yes, New Year's, I'm thinking. Yep. So no, it's good.
One of the things that we're going to do now is just create a little bit more depth and a little bit more dimension.
Okay.
We're going to take these little picks, they're very glittery, and pull them out.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
And stick them in.
That is fun. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's hanging over things.
No,
or
it can drape down over everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, kind of like, oh, that is nice. Oh, yes. So.
And this is fun. The tree really does look like an adult tree, but it's a lot of fun for kids as well. It's easy. That's all right.
I think I kind of messed it up a bit. How did you do that? Oh, you just pull it from here?
Pull it from the middle.
Oh, from the middle, like this. Ah, I see. Okay. So the middle, always through the middle. Okay. I just love how it is. It's quick and easy. Yeah, it's nice. And it's so pretty. So is there always themes? So like this Christmas, it looks like it's very sparkly and
well, we tend to do what we tend to do at the Fish every year. At the buying, I try and buy things, buy in themes.
Right.
I color block trees, and it just makes it more uniform. It makes it more exciting.
Right. So I guess next season we're not going to be seeing anything like this. It'll be all different.
It'll all be different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like when I go to your store. You just have like you have the latest of the styles, and everything's so pretty.
We try to be very fashion forward in what we're doing.
And are you a buyer
and we try
there?
and keep it fresh. Yes, I help with doing some of the buying.
How fun is that? So again, like you said, it has been under it's been about 7 minutes that we've been doing this. So good. I don't know where to put this up. So like you said, this is for the busy person.
And part of it is don't think too much.
No, you
know,
don't.
You don't need to overthink the tree.
And it looks so pretty because we're just placing it, and I'm not even thinking as I'm doing this. I don't know if you are, but I'm not.
This is probably about my 25th tree this year, so I'm not thinking too seriously about it.
Good.
But it's a fun place for the family. Come down and there's something for everybody.
Okay, where am I going to put this little guy?
There.
And what other kind of decorations that we can think of that you can decorate your house that we can buy at the Flying Fish?
Well, you can do it in anything you want. One of our windows is a pink tree with kitchen gadgets.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year, I believe we had a tree, an upside down tree with rubber chickens.
Oh, okay.
The owner has a quirky sense of humor, so we thought, what are we going to do with them? And we did the tree, and they just sold right through. It was fabulous. So you can do anything.
Okay, and what about like table settings and for the mantelpieces on fireplaces? What can you suggest and what can we see?
Well, lots of people like to use fresh, but we have all sorts of pine garlands that you can drape across. You can work anything into it. We have just this year purchased some really beautiful but funky vases, so I've incorporated that into a mantelpiece setting.
Nice, nice, nice. So again, this has taken us less than 10 minutes. I think it's been, what, 7 minutes, Penny?
Yeah.
So it has. So this is really good. Oh, and we don't see angels or stars anymore? Is that gone, or?
We do, but I didn't bring one. I forgot to bring one along, sorry.
Okay, because I know we're not seeing a lot of the bulbs or anything like that.
We do have a lot of them.
Okay, so.
But the task was try to do this in under 10 minutes, and hanging balls is a little bit more difficult. You have to hook them and hang them, and we want to make this drop dead easy.
Yes, like I said, it's all about, this is very, very easy for sure. No, that's pretty. And what about other colors? Is there any other colors that we can, if we're going down to the Flying Fish? I see purples.
We have the whole spectrum of colors.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Anything you want.
Okay,
And
nice.
make sure to ask us. We're always there to help. Thank you, Kate, for inviting me.
And Tara, thank you very much. I'd just like to acknowledge Penny and the entire team at the Flying Fish in downtown Nanaimo. They graciously lended us the furniture for our set here in our live studio program. And I'm being told that my mic is not on. I'm actually just going to look at it. Yes, it is on. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to throw things over to Myc Sharratt because maybe you can't hear me, but you will hear Myc.
Don't know how you march out to battle when you could be safe here with me, but you grit your teeth